Well, good morning. I just got a text from Lowe's. My delivery is number 6 this morning. So between 9:30 and 1:30, my new appliances will be here. Yay! I am so thrilled that I made that decision and just went ahead and did it. I'm always trying to, save money and not overspend, but it was the right decision. I know it was. I absolutely know it was the right decision. I feel it in my bones. And then yesterday I made another really big decision. I've been talking about it for a while, actually since last year. I've been talking about removing a deck from behind my garage. I can look at it through my door, my front door, which is on the side of the house, which I think is weird. But anyway, I look at it all the time, and every time I would go out there, I'd look at it and I'd go, I really need to take this deck out. It serves absolutely no purpose except to put furniture on. And I got rid of most of my furniture, so I don't really need it. Stuff just sits there. It's too hot for the majority of the day to even be out there. So it really wasn't serving any purpose for me. And by removing it, it's going to give me more options on how to, be able to use that part of the yard because everything was just so close. It just really didn't make me feel good even being in there because it was so tight just to get up the one step. It's a floating deck. So I'm going to add just the video that I update. It's just like a replay of what happened. And I didn't realize that my security camera on the other side was gone. I don't know what I did with it. It's not there. So when I was doing the caulking inside the house, I must have taken it out and forgot to put back. Yeah. Oh well, that's one of those things. So anyway, I was hoping that camera would capture all the work that was done. And I started on it fairly early. I went to my other neighbor, Mark, and I said, could you put this circular saw together for me? Because I'm not really sure how to do it. And he said, sure, sure, I'll be over there in a minute. I'll come and do it. So he started putting it together. He said, were you planning on using this to cut this deck? And I said, yeah, because I tried the what is it, reciprocating saw, and I said, I just don't have the strength for it because you got to push in a button and pull the trigger and hold the thing down. I can't do that much with one hand. My hands aren't big enough, for that. And he said, don't do it. Don't do it. He said, I have a friend that has a glass eye now because he did it. And he said, if you hit a screw or something hard, concrete or, whatever, a nail, something unexpected, the blade on one of the blade things on the saw could break off and go into your eye or somewhere else in your body. He said, it's really dangerous. Please don't use it for that. And I said, okay, I won't, but I still need it put together. So I went purposely to buy one, a reciprocating saw. I bought a Works and I really like it. It'll be great for lots of things. It just wasn't enough for that. So he loaned me his. He had a spare. He loaned me his corded one, and that did a great job. And that was one of those tool time or tool something. I don't know what. It was either Harbor Freight or Menards brand. I'm not sure which one, but it worked really well. So I might invest in a corded one. I had a corded one, but I could never get the blade to stay in. And to me, that was more dangerous for me to have something that I couldn't operate. So I think I will invest in one that's a corded one if I continue to do craft projects that require it. If not, the battery one is fine. And then I also because I thought I would have to cut off all the screws and nails and stuff. I bought one of those, oh God, what is it called? But it's it kind of vibrates and cuts things off. I don't remember what it's called, but anyway, I bought one of those, and I got a really good deal on them at Menards. So, um, I'm covered now. I have those two things. I will be able to use them in the future for small jobs, but there will not be another big job for me. Not like that. That really took a lot out of me, and I only did about a third, maybe a little more of the one side of the deck, and it was really, really telling on my body. I could feel it. I still feel it today. I don't feel sore or anything. My muscles are in good shape, but I could feel it in my chest. I'm just not going to do it. So, but I'm so grateful my neighbors helped me. You know, Gary came and did the rest of the one side, and then my neighbor that loaned me his tools, and he had uh, a pry bar that was as tall as I am and probably weighs as much as me. And I drugged that thing around and used it. And, you know, I think it really helped. It helps to get your muscles, you know, to get stronger. And, you know, so I did use it. It wasn't easy though, because to pick that thing up it was rough, but at the end of the day, I actually feel like I got a little stronger just doing that. I'm going to leave a video. It was like a recap of what happened during the day. It really isn't what I was hoping for, because that security camera that I usually have in there when I do yard work, um, it really does a nice job, you know, capturing what I want to show in that area. And I somehow forgot to put it back in the window, but that's all right. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I was kind of hoping to have that little Mrs. Fix-It kind of vibe to it, you know, that I have tried to do before. But anyway, it's okay. I'm not really. I'll make sure I have a camera when I do the actual landscape part of it, because I want to put um, my raised change where my raised beds are and use the dirt that's in it to help fill in that area, because it's nasty. You'll see in this little video. It's not a very long video, but I'll add it at the end of this. Um, so anyway, today my new appliances come, and it's raining, it's nasty, and we're supposed to have really bad storms, and you know, here I am measuring things, making sure that this stuff is going to come in my front door. God. I sure hope so. But anyway, yeah, I think they make most of them to fit. So, and I didn't buy a big fridge. The stove will definitely fit, but I didn't buy a big fridge. I bought something that was a little smaller actually than what I have. It's not that much smaller, but it's a little bit. So I'm just going to have faith that both of them are going to come in, they're going to be installed, and they're going to work perfectly, and I'm not going to have any issues with it. I have faith in that. I really believe it was the right choice to buy the appliances, and I believe it was the right choice to take out that deck. There was so much rot, and it basically was everything was basically sitting in mud and water. Once we started opening it up, oh my God, it was terrible. And what they had done is they had put 2x10s together, and there were so many screws and nails in it. It was unbelievable trying to find a place to cut them, because they were so waterlogged and so heavy. You couldn't pull them out. They had to be cut in place and then taken to the curb. So today's Amnesty Day, and I am so grateful for my two neighbors that came to help, because the deck is out, it's at the curb, and it just made me feel good to know that I don't have to deal with that thing anymore, because I just painted it last year. The paint was very expensive, and it wouldn't hold the paint. And I know why, because it was waterlogged. Even though it felt dry on the surface, I thought it was dry. I bet it wasn't. So that's why the paint didn't hold up. So I didn't really want to have to do it again because the way it looked, the boards were kind of doing this in the, like in all of them. In the center was low, and it was like a cup. And then on the sides, on each side of it where people would step up, those boards were rotten. And I knew that I had to buy new boards for it, and that was my plan at first. Then I decided, well, I think I'm just going to take all these boards off. I'm not just going to replace 3 or 4 boards. I'm going to take them all off and then see what I can do with it if I need to do anything else. Well, luckily, by doing that, there was no replacing anything. Nothing in there was in good shape. So I'm really grateful that it's gone. And it is going to require some landscaping. I might even hire somebody to do it. I just have to think about who. So it was good. All the things I've done and learned are good. The biggest thing was yesterday, taking part of deck. I have a new appreciation for carpenters when they do that. That's a lot of work. It's tough. So, yeah, I'm really, yeah. Well, I always did appreciate them, but I appreciate them even more because that's rough work. And especially when they're waterlogged. Those boards were so darn heavy. Ooh! There was one board that I should have been able to carry, no problem, but it was so wet. It weighed a ton. And I carried it, but it was rough. It was really heavy. And so I'm like, yeah, no, we're not doing this. I'm not putting, because somebody asked me, are you going to put another deck over there? I'm not. No. When I leave here, if someone else wants to put one back there, go for it. That's your business. I don't want one there. It really didn't serve me well. It was just a place to put stuff. Put furniture, fill it up, put plants. I don't need all that. I really don't. And, oh, I also wanted to tell you that since I healed from my aunt's abuse, my whole attitude has changed, and I realize that has held me back all my life. It has. And there's one more thing that I realized this morning that held me back. And now I know it's not something I ever have to worry about or feel ever again. Because I've discovered what it is, And I really, really recommend anyone that's struggling with anything to do your shadow work, do Akashic Records. It's not something you have to pay for. You can learn to do it yourself. But do the Akashic Records. Go back into your past lives. Your soul has been around for centuries. You can dig deep into that and learn so much and heal that part of you. And then the universe opens up even more. So anyway, thanks for watching. Bye. Well, here's where it started. I started cutting the planks with that Sawzall. And then Gary came and helped, and we got that. Then Mark came and did the other side. And then we had all these layers of fabric, and it all went to the curb. The aftermath. Wow. I am so grateful for the neighbors that helped Mark and Gary. I don't think I could have finished this without them, but I tried. Well, all I have to do now is get this cleaned up,
I'm going to take the raised beds that are on the sides. I'm going to dump the dirt that's in them to fill this up, and then put them back here up against the garage, one on each end, on one side. Each side I'm going to put them, and then fill them back up with dirt, because it's just going to be for my herbs and stuff. So yeah, it should work. And then that'll be gone. That's in the center there. Yeah, should work.